My beloved child. Before you scroll, before you doubt, before you tell yourself, "This isn't for me," listen carefully, because what you are about to hear is not random, it is not coincidence, it is not just another message lost in the noise. This is the moment your soul has been quietly waiting for, the moment your heart has been preparing for, even when it felt broken, abandoned, and forgotten. Because someone who once walked away from you, someone who left you in silence, confusion, and pain, is now turning back, slowly, desperately, and with a weight of regret they can no longer carry. Yes, the same person who once made you question your worth, the same person who chose distance over connection, the same person who let your love slip through their fingers like it meant nothing. They are coming back, but not the same, not unchanged, not untouched by what they lost. They are coming back with realization, with sleepless nights, with thoughts of you that refuse to fade no matter how far they tried to run. And here is the truth that may shock you. While you were healing, while you were trying to put yourself back together piece by piece, while you were learning to breathe again without them, they were breaking in ways they never expected, haunted by your absence, replaying your voice in their mind, remembering the warmth they once took for granted, realizing too late that what they had with you was rare, powerful, and not easily replaced. My beloved child, you felt the shift, didn't you? Those random moments when their memory hit you out of nowhere, those dreams that felt too real, those sudden waves of emotion that didn't make sense. That was not weakness, that was not you going backward. That was the invisible thread between two souls being pulled again, tighter, stronger, unavoidable. Because some connections do not end, they pause, they transform, they wait for the right moment to reveal their true purpose. And now that moment is approaching faster than you think. But listen closely, because this is where everything changes. They are not just coming back casually, they are not returning with the same careless energy, they are coming back humbled, shaken, and desperate for another chance. And when they stand before you, when their voice trembles, when their eyes search yours for forgiveness, you will feel it. The truth, the history, the unfinished story. But you will also feel something else. Power. Because this time, you are not the same person who once gave everything without question, you are not the same heart that broke so easily under their absence. You have grown, you have learned, you have seen your own strength in the darkest moments. And now the question is not, will they come back? The question is, are you ready for what happens when they do? Because not every return deserves acceptance, not every apology deserves access, and not every regret deserves redemption. My beloved child, this is your test, your awakening, your moment of truth. Will you open the door blindly, or will you stand firm in the power you have built? Will you listen to their words, or will you observe their actions? Because this time, you see deeper, you feel clearer, and you know that love is not just about longing, it is about alignment, respect, and truth. And here is something they didn't expect. They thought you would always be there, always waiting, always available. But now, they are the ones waiting, they are the ones hoping, they are the ones afraid of losing you forever. The roles have shifted, the energy has changed, and the balance is no longer in their favor. And that is why they are coming back begging, not just for your love, but for your presence, your attention, your forgiveness. But my beloved child, do not confuse their return with your obligation. You are not required to reopen wounds just because someone finally realized your value. You are not required to say yes just because they are saying sorry. You are allowed to pause, to question, to protect your peace. Because the same heart that once broke you is now asking to hold you again. And that is not a small decision, that is not a simple choice. That is a moment that will shape your future in ways you cannot yet fully see. So when they come back, and they will come back, sooner than you expect. Do not rush, do not react from old emotions, do not let nostalgia make decisions for your present. Stand still, breathe, and ask yourself one question that will reveal everything. Has this person truly changed, or are they just afraid of losing me? Because fear can bring someone back, but only growth can keep them there. And you deserve someone who stays not out of fear, but out of truth, commitment, and genuine love. My beloved child, you were never the problem, you were never too much, you were never hard to love. You were simply given to someone who didn't understand your value at the time. But now they do, now they see, now they feel what they once ignored. And that realization is pulling them back into your life like a force they cannot resist. But remember this. Just because they are ready now, does not mean you have to be. Your timing matters, your healing matters, your peace matters. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is not to accept someone back, but to recognize that you have outgrown the version of love they once offered. And if they truly belong in your life, they will meet you at your level, not pull you back to your past. So prepare yourself, not for their return, but for your response. Because that is where your true power lies. In the choice you make when the person who once broke you stands before you asking for another chance. Will you rewrite the story, or will you close the chapter for good? Either way, know this. You are no longer the one who loses. You are the one who chooses. And that changes everything. My child. Now that you understand they are returning, now that you feel that shift in your energy and theirs, there is something deeper you must see, something most people miss when this moment arrives. Because the return is not the blessing by itself, the return is the test, the mirror, the revelation of everything you have become since they walked away. And here is the truth you need to hear even if it shakes you a little. When they come back begging, it will not just be about love, it will be about control, emotions, memories, and the silent battle between your past self and your present self. Because the version of you that once cried over them, that once waited, that once replayed every conversation searching for answers, that version will try to speak again. It will try to convince you that this is what you wanted all along, that this is the moment you prayed for, that this is the ending you deserved. But my beloved child, you are no longer that version, and if you listen only to that old voice, you may walk back into the same storm you worked so hard to escape. This is why you must slow down, observe, and feel beyond the surface. Because when someone returns after breaking your heart, they don't just bring apologies, they bring patterns, they bring habits, they bring the same energy unless something within them has truly transformed. And not every apology is proof of change, not every tear is a sign of growth, not every "I miss you" carries the weight of accountability. Some people return because they are lonely, some return because they lost control over you, some return because they expected you to still be there exactly as they left you. But very few return because they have done the inner work, because they have faced their own flaws, because they have become someone capable of loving you the way you always deserved. And that is what you must learn to recognize, not their words, not their emotions, but their consistency, their effort, their actions over time. My beloved child, do not be hypnotized by the past, do not let memories blind you to reality. Yes, there were good moments, yes, there was love, yes, there was a connection that felt real and powerful. But there was also pain, confusion, distance, and silence that left scars you had to heal alone. And if you ignore that truth, you risk reopening wounds that took so much strength to close. This is why your power now lies in your awareness. Watch how they approach you, watch the energy they bring, watch whether they respect your boundaries or try to rush back into your life as if nothing ever happened. Because someone who truly values you will not pressure you, they will not rush you, they will not expect instant forgiveness. They will understand the damage they caused, and they will be willing to rebuild slowly, patiently, and honestly. And here is something even deeper you must prepare for. When they come back begging, they may say everything you once wanted to hear. They may tell you they love you, they may tell you they made a mistake, they may promise to never hurt you again. And for a moment, it will feel like everything is falling back into place, like the universe is finally giving you what you lost. But my beloved child, words are easy when someone is afraid of losing you, promises are easy when someone is desperate for another chance. What matters is not what they say in that emotional moment, but what they do after the moment passes. Do they show up consistently? Do they respect your growth? Do they match the level you have reached? Or do they slowly slip back into the same patterns that once broke you? Because real change is not proven in one conversation, it is proven over time, through actions, through effort, through choices made when emotions settle and reality begins. And this is where your strength will be tested the most. Can you hold your boundaries even when your heart feels pulled toward them? Can you stay grounded even when memories try to soften your decisions? Can you choose yourself even when the past tries to reclaim you? Because loving someone should never require you to lose yourself. It should never demand that you shrink, that you ignore your intuition, that you accept less than what you now know you deserve. My beloved child, you have come too far to return to a place that once broke you unless that place has truly transformed into something safe, something real, something aligned with who you are now. And if it hasn't, then no matter how much they beg, no matter how much they promise, no matter how much they try to pull you back, your answer must come from strength, not from longing. Because you are not the same person anymore, and your choices must reflect that growth. And here is the final truth you must carry in your heart as this unfolds. Their return does not define your worth, their apology does not validate your value, their realization does not complete you. You were always complete, always valuable, always worthy of a love that does not leave, that does not confuse, that does not break you in order to understand you. So if they come back ready to meet you at that level, then you will see it clearly, you will feel it without doubt, and you will choose from a place of peace, not desperation. But if they come back still carrying the same energy, the same inconsistency, the same emotional patterns, then you will also see that clearly, and this time, you will have the strength to walk away without looking back. Because my beloved child, this is not just about them coming back. This is about you finally realizing that you hold the power now, and whatever you choose next will not come from pain, but from the wisdom you earned when you survived what once tried to break you. Now you stand at the edge of the final realization, the moment where everything becomes clear, not through their words, not through their emotions, but through the quiet, undeniable truth rising inside you. Because by now you can feel it, something is different, something within you refuses to go back to who you used to be, even if your heart still remembers them, even if a part of you still wonders, what if? And this is where your true awakening begins, because the biggest mistake people make when someone returns begging is believing that the story is simply continuing where it left off, but that is not how life works, that is not how growth works, and that is not how you work anymore. The old version of you would have opened the door instantly, would have ignored the red flags, would have chosen love even at the cost of your own peace, but now, you are standing in a completely different energy, one that sees beyond emotions, one that understands consequences, one that knows that every choice you make now shapes the life you will live next. And here is what they don't fully understand yet. When they walked away from you, they didn't just lose your presence, they lost access to the version of you that loved without limits, that gave without hesitation, that stayed even when it hurt. And that version is not coming back the same way, no matter how much they beg, no matter how much they promise, no matter how much they try to recreate what once existed. Because you have changed, and that change is not temporary, it is not emotional, it is permanent, it is rooted in everything you had to learn the hard way. My beloved child, when they stand before you now, they may expect familiarity, they may expect warmth, they may expect the same energy they once left behind. But what they will feel instead is your strength, your calm, your awareness, your boundaries. And that will both attract them and unsettle them at the same time, because they will realize that they no longer have the same hold on you. They will realize that this time, they must earn what they once had freely. And here is where the final decision begins to form inside you, not rushed, not forced, but slowly and clearly. You will start to see them for who they truly are, not who you hoped they were, not who they are trying to appear as now, but who they consistently show themselves to be. And in that clarity, everything becomes simple. If they have truly changed, you will not feel confusion, you will not feel anxiety, you will not feel the need to question their intentions constantly. Instead, you will feel peace, stability, and a quiet confidence that this connection is safe to explore again. But if they have not changed, if they are still driven by fear, ego, or temporary emotions, then no matter how beautiful their words sound, something inside you will feel off, something inside you will resist, something inside you will remind you of the pain you once had to heal alone. And this time, you will listen to that voice, you will trust that feeling, you will not silence your intuition just to hold on to someone who once let you go. Because my beloved child, you are no longer searching for love, you are choosing it, and there is a difference. Searching comes from emptiness, from longing, from the need to be completed. But choosing comes from wholeness, from clarity, from the understanding that you deserve something real, something stable, something that does not require you to question your worth. And as this person stands before you asking for another chance, the universe is not just watching them, it is watching you. It is watching whether you will repeat the same cycle or finally break it, whether you will return to what is familiar or step into what is aligned with your growth. And here is the most powerful truth of all. Sometimes closure does not come from them leaving. Sometimes closure comes from them returning and you realizing that you no longer need what they are offering. That you no longer feel the same pull, that you no longer see them as the answer to your happiness. And if that is what you feel, do not be afraid of it, do not question it, do not force yourself to go backward just because they came back forward. Because not every return is meant to restart a relationship, some returns are meant to show you how far you have come. And if you do choose to give them another chance, let it not be from weakness, let it not be from loneliness, let it not be from the fear of losing them again. Let it be from strength, from clarity, from the condition that this connection must be different, healthier, and aligned with the person you have become. And if they cannot meet you there, if they cannot rise to that level, then your answer becomes clear without anger, without drama, without regret. You simply walk away, not because you don't love them, but because you have finally learned to love yourself more. My beloved child, this is your moment of power, your moment of truth, your moment of transformation. The person who once broke your heart is now standing in front of the version of you that cannot be broken the same way again. And whatever you choose next will not just define this connection, it will define the standard of love you accept for the rest of your life. So choose wisely, choose consciously, choose yourself. Because in the end, the real story was never about them leaving or returning. The real story was always about you becoming someone who no longer settles for anything less than the love you truly deserve. And that is where everything finally changes forever. My beloved child, the moment has arrived and the choice is now yours, not theirs. They came back with regret, but you stand with wisdom. They bring emotions, but you carry clarity. They speak of love, but you understand truth. You no longer chase what once left you behind. You no longer beg for what should have stayed. If they rise to your level, you may open the door slowly. If they remain the same, you will walk away silently. Because your peace is now more valuable than any past connection. And remember this forever. You didn't lose them, they lost a version of you they will never find again.